Two of the most decorated left-handers the game has ever produced. The world number 1, Judd Trump, taking on the evergreen world number 4, Mark Williams. Both came through their quarterfinal, their last 16 ties comfortably, both looking to be in red-hot form. One thing we can confidently predict, history tells us that this pair play out some incredibly memorable matches. Matthew, tonight, this will hopefully be no different.
Yeah, it's a mouth-watering clash. You know, I've been looking forward to this all day. It's, I think Mark likes this sort of situation, you know, being the underdog. I think it's a challenge for him, and yeah, what a match we got ahead of us.
Quite incredibly, there's been 456 ranking snooker tournaments in history, and between them, they've played in exactly 228 quarterfinals. That's exactly half.
Wow, what a stat that is. Yeah, you know, they're both, you know, all-time greats, and obviously Judd's a lot younger than Mark, and he'll have many more quarterfinals ahead of him, but the way Mark's playing these days, he'll have many more as well.
Yeah, it's what many would refer to as a proper game of snooker between two proper players. They tend to bring out the best in one another. We've seen that so many times previously. Played some huge matches down the years. 2 big semi-finals in the World Championship, 22 and 25. Of course, a final at the Masters in 2023. But the most memorable match of all for me, Matthew, the final out in Saudi Arabia last year, 10-9. What a clearance that was from Trump, from the death.
Yeah, I was in the house. I literally put it on at 9-all, and the clearance Judd done was out of this world, especially, you know, with all the financial benefits of it. I think that frame was for like £300,000, as Mark has said many times the day after. But yeah, the first red he knocked in the middle and managed to clear up was, well, what makes him the best player in the world at the minute.
Well, Judd May can just bend this cue ball a trace around the green and pop this red. There you see he's got quite a unique line of aim, Judd Trump. You could see down the line of his cue he was way off target there, but on delivery corrects himself. Look at that.
Yeah, just a fraction out, so
1.
First chance for Mark Williams.
Williams, of course, came through very tough opponent last night in Barry Hawkins. Brushed him aside with relative ease, 6 frames to 2.
8.
One thing he's never lacked is his ability to create shots. He's a fabulous shot maker, Mark Williams. Always has been. That's what makes him so exciting to watch. Another packed house here at the Telford International Centre, enjoying 2 of the game's greats.
9.
Yeah, you know, what he's doing in the game is incredible, you know, at the age of 50. I've had to put up with this for the last 38 years, Stephen, and he's still improving.
16. 17.
Yeah, of course, he's inspired so many players from all walks of life, but particularly in Wales. Of course, you've grown up with Mark and playing alongside him for so long.
24.
Has it ever annoyed you that he's that
25.
good? Or is it a chance and an opportunity for you to feed off a player like him? Because there is not many like him.
No, he's very annoying. Like I said, I've been, you know, playing with him for the last 38 years since I was 10. Yeah, you know, we were very, very close friends, and still are. And I look up to Mark, as all the other players in Wales do. It's and he's still a pleasure to watch. You know, he's just walking on the table, floating them in as if he's just, you know, in the practice
32.
room. He's yeah, he's something special, all right.
$33.
Well, just had to negotiate a little cannon on the red, back up for the blue. Hasn't landed perfectly here. There we get a listen to that rock hard tip of his. It's not a nice sound, is it, Matthew?
38.
No, it's absolutely horrible, to be honest, Steve. It's when he first started playing with it, I wasn't convinced, but
39.
when he keeps on potting everything, then I believe him. Yeah, he's played that nicely. Just come a little bit awkward, so he'll probably
46.
just need the spider here to get back onto the black. But should be fine.
$47.
Yeah, that's nicely played.
It feels strange to say this considering he won the
54.
Xi'an Grand Prix earlier on in this campaign, but it feels like it's been quite a quiet season from Mark Williams. Of course, you can't be in this event
55.
and the other events in the Players' Series if you haven't had a good campaign. But he's just gone a little quieter since getting his hands on that trophy out in China. But of course, as all the top players looking ahead to the horizon, some huge tournaments just around the corner. Now is a good time to start playing well.
Yeah, and he couldn't have asked for a better start. You know, just a couple of reds, a couple of colours here, and should seal the first frame. And as usual, he's looking his normal fluent self.
Thank you. 61. $62.
Yeah, because we always say players are looking to get on the board as quickly as possible to settle down out there and find their feet, but I just feel that doesn't really apply to Mark Williams. He always looks settled. I think more than anything, a one-visit contribution in the first frame, it would just send a message to Judd Trump.
69.
Let him know that he's feeling pretty good tonight and that he's got a game on his hands.
70. $77. $78.
He's worked this opportunity so well. Got the reds open when he needed to. Shown great control, great touch.
83. 84.
Yeah, I know I keep praising him, but this is
91.
you know, the perfect start, and it's just making it look so easy. It'll send a
92.
message out to Judd, but you know, they've played each other so many times. This is just the norm for them too. So it'll be Judd trying to get back into, you know, the second frame and trying to do the same to Mark.
99.
So just this red along the top cushion to kick things off with a century here in Telford.
100.
A fabulous start from a fabulous player.
107.
Now, come on, Mark, can you chip this one in? Hello. It's close.
108.
What a shot that is from Mark Williams. A shot maker.
$140.
Chance to set a good target for the high break as well, of course. Just the £10,000 this week. Worth making.
$119. $123. $128. $134.
A 141 total. He's never won this event, Mark Williams. His best run came in 2018 to the semi-finals. This is his 5th quarter-final at the Players' Championship. But on what we've just seen in that opening frame, he means business this week. There are fewer better sights in the game than Mark Williams just floating the balls around to the inch.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad start, Stephen, was it? Yeah, I spoke to Mark yesterday. He said he was suffering with gout, So yeah, he really looked like he was struggling there with it, wasn't he?
Yeah, I can't wait to get gout.
I actually do suffer with it quite a bit, and yeah, don't pot him like that, I know that.
It always seems like it's the grand scheme for Mark Williams. He has this way of diverting pressure, diverting attention from himself, and it's very clever. He's a professional sportsman and he's one of the greatest of all time for a reason. He knows exactly what he's doing out there. And if you can do anything as a player to feel comfortable more times than not, the result of that is what we saw in that opening frame.
Got so close to that long red. I think he might have been a little bit fortunate. Don't think this red cuts in.
Well, may have a chance at a long red to left corner. If he can stun the cue ball across the face of the main cluster, the black is sitting waiting. Well, he may have found one elsewhere. Not this time, but knew a good cue ball to the top cushion. It would be unlikely that he would leave anything for Judd.
Yeah, it's a good safety shot from Judd yet again. He'll probably just try and rest on this red next to the left-hand corner. I think he's a bit short of pace.
Foul and a miss. Judd Trump 4.
Well, he's well short of pace. And he's left the red to middle for Judd Trump. Seemed to take a while overcoming to a decision there, Judd Trump. Possibly clouded by the fact he wasn't all that sure where his cue ball was going.
One.
But much to Judd's delight, it's not cost him.
Yeah, I think he's actually put himself in a bit of trouble here. Can't see a way of getting anything safe, but...
There you see the red and pink very close together. He might be concerned that playing safe off the pink, there's every chance he plants this red into the right corner pocket. And that's exactly what's happened.
Matt Williams won.
I think he knew that was going to go in, didn't he? In his heart of hearts, he knew.
I'm not saying nothing. Yeah, but he just caught the jaw or the middle pocket, so he's left. I think this is Judd's first good chance to get in amongst the balls and just settle himself down a little bit. He's missed one or two. Yeah, it's a good pot.
One.
But he's lost the cue ball.
Judd Trump won.
Well, of course, it was that shot in his opening round match against Zhou Yulong that seemed to find him out. Made a better job of it this time. Got the pace just right. I wonder if he was listening to Alan's advice from the studio and played it with a touch of left or a touch of right.
Yeah, I think he was, Stephen.
Judd Trump 6.
Yeah, he gave us a few examples of how to roll up to the roll up to the green, didn't he? Very impressive by Alan, I thought.
But because he did play it so well that time, Judd Trump, it has directly led to a better opportunity now. Okay. The high value colour's a little bit messy at the moment. Judd avoiding playing for the blue right now, it would seem, because of the red just left of the blue spot. Would impede it. So a chance to remove that red now and get about business.
4. Five. Twelve. 13.
Well, the main bunch of reds by the pink, all surrounding the pink, they may need a little tickle at some point.
20.
Just to bring them into play. They're all restricting one another at the minute as Judd gradually builds this lead.
21. $28. 29.
I think he's just come a little bit too far for the perfect angle. I don't know whether he can force an angle. Doesn't look like he can from there. Just checking to see if the red next to the pink passes. So I think that'll be the red he plays on here.
Yeah, you could just see a slight expression there from Trump. Little puff of the cheeks.
36.
Knew that his cue ball just ran on a touch far on that black. But he's played that particularly well. Inch perfect.
37.
And able to just brush cannon another red into play.
Yeah, so just
44.
one more red and a black to put him safe in this frame.
45.
But would like to guarantee another red. So one good shot to go into the pack.
$52.
Well, not able
Judd
to get
Trump,
that one extra
52.
red that he required. So, just the one snooker required for Mark Williams.
One. Eight. 9.
So the frame well and truly gone now. Chance for Judd to just get a little bit more table time. Just knock these
16.
final few balls in.
70.
Of course, he wasn't really tested in his opening round game against Zhou Yulong.
24.
And I did just wonder if that would have any
25.
bearing on Judd Trump tonight. It seems it won't. He's playing well in general. Of course, finally got his hands back on some silverware
31.
at the German Masters recently. Feeling good about his game. And we're feeling good about this game. It's been a
31.
fantastic start to this match so far, and that was a world. The red light above their banner.
I've only just noticed that, Stephen. Yeah. But I can't see this being a runaway match, can you? It's, I think it's got 6-5 written all over it.
Yeah, and I think everyone here tonight is going to get great value for money, because we're witnessing two players really playing quite beautifully here. You get the feeling it could be blow for blow. It's been exciting already. The thing that fascinates me the most watching two top players, just how they go about trying to outwit one another, outfox the other. How do they gain that advantage? Because we know just how clever Mark Williams is. But Judd Trump is an extremely clever snooker player himself. You don't get to world number one and stay there for a long period of time without being.
Yeah, you know, to win as many tournaments as Judd's won over the past 5 or 6 years, it's remarkable, really. You know, winning 5 and 6 tournaments per season. You know, knowing the standard of the players these days, it's unbelievable. It's yeah, he's something special, and he's got so many titles ahead of him as well.
Yeah, and it was strange, wasn't it? For what, 14 months, he didn't win a trophy, and it almost seemed like the world was going to end. But that's just because we've held him in such high regard. He's held himself in such high regard over the last few seasons. Let's not forget, along with that German Masters title this season, he has been to the final of Northern Ireland, the Champion of Champions, and of course the UK Championship. So he's still very much a big player in any tournament. Well, I'll correct myself there. He's the man to beat in any tournament.
Yeah, you know, whenever Judd Trump is in the quarterfinals or the semi-finals, you know, he fancies the job most of the time, and you know, we'll fancy it this week, especially the way, you know, he played in his first match, and you know, the way he started here as well. So it's the further it goes in tournaments, the more dangerous he gets.
Our referee Julian Bell having a close inspection of whether or not that cue ball is touching the blue. No touching ball declared, but that still doesn't really help Judd Trump's cause here. He's in big trouble. I suppose in some ways he was quite fortunate, Trump, to not leave marker red from catching the safety way too thick. Well, he's looking for any way that he can nestle up to something here, Judd Trump, preferably the main bunch. That's the biggest target.
What a shot that was. Especially bridging over the blue right-handed. That was some shot.
Yeah, how well has he played that? Could not have played it any better.
Extend this one. Yeah. With the extension, yeah. Yep.
Well, a piece of apparatus you don't often see. The extended spider with the telescopic extension on the end. Trump trying to get the cue ball back to baulk here and just resolve this little stalemate. Well, it's a bit of a stretch, isn't it?
Don't like the look of this, Stephen. Oh, he's played it really well. Yeah, it's a great shot from Judd.
Well, if there's no pot available here for Mark Williams, of which I can't see one, got a good opportunity to swing the cue ball round and get it left side of the table. Try and force Judd down the left side where there's plenty of traffic. Just a quick reminder to all our viewers here on 5. In around about 15 minutes time at 8 PM, we will be heading over to 5 action, so it'd be great to have you with us.
That wasn't a bad little pot from Judd there. Wow, what a shot. Sometimes when you get your opponent in too much trouble, you know, they've got a pot, they're out of trouble. But, yeah, that was some cueing.
Well, the last person you want to force into taking something on is Judd Trump. And
Judd
look
Trump.
at the touch there. Perfectly played. 2 brilliant shots from Trump. He's demonstrated his cue power and his touch.
Yeah, and at first glance, it looks like Mark's in all sorts of trouble. I can't see a path where he can get this safe. So it's... he might have to play the hit and hope here, Stephen. I'm not sure.
Well, the blue looks to be very close to in the way, coming the left side cushion route with left hand side to try and come 2 cushions across and nestle up to the reds on the top cushion. And even if he gets that shot right, there's every chance he leaves a red to the left corner. He needs a big slide here. And he hasn't got one.
Foul. And a miss. Judd Trump, 4.
Well, he was in so much trouble there. He really was.
Yes, he has left this red, but there's no certainty of getting on a colour. So it might just be a little hit and hope.
One.
Oh, he's found the gap and controlled it well. So, first chance to Judd in this third frame.
And I suppose you have to say he has earned it. That red he knocked into the left corner pocket when his back was forced into a corner. Still, there's plenty of work to do here to unlock this frame.
7. Eight. $14. $15.
Yeah, still not straightforward. You'd love to get rid of one of those two reds next to the black spot, so that would, clear everything up and, make this break a lot easier. So one good shot to clear the path of the black spot, and you feel you'd go on and win the frame.
Yeah, the very best break builders in the world, they try and identify the problem balls on the table sooner rather than later. As you just said, Matthew, those two reds left of the black spot. In potting this black, may just restrict Judd's access to it.
$22.
And he's still not in prime position just yet. And he's potentially one good pot away here from finding it. Good shot.
23.
Yeah, he made that look so easy. That was a tough shot, and now he's in perfect position. Just a little stun for the red. And this will open everything up, and I would expect him to go on and win the frame.
30. $31.
And now the path is cleared for Judd Trump, and he's got these balls at his mercy, really. Perfectly placed, really well worked out this break so far. Looking to press on from a dominant display in the previous
38.
frame. It feels like since that 1-4-1 total clearance in the opener from Mark Williams,
39.
he's not had that much involvement since. Again, just a quick reminder for everyone with us on 5. In around about 5 minutes' time, we're heading over to 5 action at 8 p.m. So please do join us to watch the conclusion of this fascinating clash between
46.
two of the very best.
$52. 53.
Just this red
59.
and one more colour to leave Mark needing snookers, but I don't think he'll be getting back to the table.
60.
Yeah, Judd's been so solid, isn't he, after that 1-4-1 by Mark in the opening frame. It's what we come to expect of Judd, and he seems to produce it all the time. And
67.
yeah, it's very good.
68.
Absolutely, it's what he does. He's the world number 1 for a reason. Unflappable. He's just got so many gears, hasn't he?
75.
And he finds them right when he needs them. Well, that red was never in, but Judd Trump with a break of 75. He's again, just a final reminder for everyone on 5. We will be leaving this channel imminently, so please do join us over on 5 Action. Welcome viewers on 5 Action to this, the second quarter final here at the Players' Championship. Judd Trump against Mark Williams. What a start we've had to this match, a 1-4-1 in the opening frame. The world number 1, Judd Trump, responds with a 52 and 75 of his own. And he's knocking them sort in. And when they're going in, that is bad news for anyone. So thank you, Channel 5 viewers, for being with us tonight. Remember, we're over on 5 Action. Please do join us. What a fantastic long red that Judd Trump has just knocked in there. And it was an anxious walk round to see the black, wasn't it, Matthew? He thought for a moment there that cue ball has just drifted on, but managed to just find a pot and he's away again.
Yeah, he's after that crushing long red again. He's just played 2 amazing shots. They didn't look great, the last 2, but believe you me, they were tough. And yeah, he's just looking amazing, as he always does. You know, I keep repeating myself, saying how good he is, but that's what he is. He makes it
16.
The hard shots look so simple, and he's away again.
17.
And from what we've seen so far tonight, he'll be looking to keep himself on this high-value black for as long as possible. He's got no reason to go elsewhere just yet. Once he can negotiate the red directly above the black, that would free up a path into the main cluster at some point.
$24.
Well, there's quite a harrowing stat for Mark Williams fans. Got off to the absolute perfect start here and had no real involvement
25.
since.
Yeah, but Mark will be feeling fine. Yeah, he literally hasn't done anything wrong. That's how cruel snooker is. You can be sat there, you know, you can play a perfect shot. You know, like we saw Judd potting that long red, and this is the result. Back in, and he's just looking amazing.
Well, would you believe it? A collector's item.
32.
A poor positional shot from Judd Trump. Just slightly misjudged the cannon to the reds. And he played it at such a pace, he thought he was guaranteed to land there. Just caught the wrong red. Just looking to catch the red left of the cue ball, currently fuller beyond the red to left corner. So that break came to a premature end for Judd Trump. But Matthew, going back to the point you just made, that is true for a lot of sports, isn't it? At the very, very top, the margins are so small. You don't have to make many mistakes to be heavily punished, and that's why we love it.
I think more so snooker, you know, you could actually play a perfect shot and not get back to the table, whether it be in your opponent flukes the ball, as we saw, you know, last night with Elliot Slesser, you know, with Zhao missing a pot and fluking the blue, and there's nothing that you can do about it. It certainly is a cruel sport, and you know we've all been a part of it, but that's what makes it fascinating game, I think.
Again, another wonderful safety shot from Judd Trump, finding his lines. Mark May can just squeeze past this green to the red beneath the pink. Find a path back to baulk. But for the gap, that's a fabulous return.
I think he's just left the gap, so it's half a chance. You'd expect him to knock it in the way he's been playing. It's such an easy game, isn't it, Stephen? He just makes those shots look like the blacks off the spot. It is really good to watch. It's like we keep saying, that's why he's the world number one by a mile, really, I think.
Yeah, we talk about a lot of professional players on the tour and how the majority do a lot of things well to be consistently good. This boy does everything extremely well. And just as I say that, he's played a poor positional shot.
The curse of the commentator.
But the thing that's changed so much over the last few years with Judd Trump, yes, he'll be furious the fact that he hasn't landed on this red, but he'll remain very disciplined here. Look, you can see round to the baulk end, looking for that specific point to leave Mark Williams in a lot of trouble. Looking for somewhere that he himself wouldn't want to be playing the next shot from.
Judd Trump, 3.
Yeah, like you said, Stephen, you know, he ran out of position prematurely, and took a deep breath, took about a minute to play the next shot, and he's played a great safety. Yeah, and with that, he's created another chance for himself. So, once again, a good chance for Judd.
One. Eight. Nine.
This is an event that Judd Trump has won on 2 previous occasions,
16.
back in 2017 and 2020.
70.
Looking to add a 3rd title to his CV this week.
$24.
He's played superbly well so far this evening. Just looking to put the finishing touches to this frame now.
25.
He just looks very sharp, doesn't he? He's absolutely dialed in out there as well. You can see that laser-like focus. Very rarely takes his eyes off the balls.
$32. $33.
Yeah, I think this interval's coming right at the right time for Mark. Just try and stop Judd from potting any more balls and have 15 minutes just to gather his thoughts and maybe go on the practice table for 5 or 10 minutes, get his touch back. Because, you know, the way he
38.
made that break in the first frame, obviously Mark is playing really well, but I can't remember him going for a pot after the first frame, Stephen.
Judd Trump.
And Judd Trump is
38.
starting to find his range. So a little glance at the scoreboard for Mark Williams. OK, that red stays out. 67 points left on this table. 73 behind. And there's the time since he last knocked a ball in. 37 coming up to 38 minutes.
1.
Well, he needs help here. Needs to be on this black. Well, this pink must drop.
Seven.
And there's the
I see
concession.
that.
Mark
Mark
Williams has
Williams,
seen
7th
enough. Well, what a
Just
start
one.
to this match. It's been Judd Trump looking every bit of value.
When the players returned, the balls weren't on the table, so there was a slight delay, but anyway, they are now. Mark Williams couldn't wait to start putting the balls on their spots, of course. He's not played badly, but at this level, of course, you don't have to be in trouble.
Yeah, that was a real world #1 display from Judd Trump from 1-0 down. Total domination of the last 3 frames. Really seems to be coming into a game at the right time of the season. Ominous for the rest.
There you are, just 3 balls potted after that total clearance in frame 1.
Foul. A miss. Judd Trump, 4. Just bring that up, please.
Slightly more the same way,
This is ref cam.
and even more.
Julian Bell wearing the camera. And Kevin
And
Dabrowski helping him
ever
out
so
from
slightly
the
more
Marcus
the
desk.
same way.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, he's turning, and I think he can see a
Foul.
red
A
full
miss.
in the pack.
Judd Trump.
So you can have
4.
to hit one this time.
Well, the table went sideways. Certainly the cue ball went sideways. That was... Well, certainly doesn't make the same shot very palatable. I mean, that ref cam gives you a pretty good view of the trouble Mark Williams is in here.
Careful one this time.
Yeah, there's
Fail
the
to
warning.
Ball and you lose the frame. Okay.
So can't afford, well, certainly can't play it like that slowly. Got to hit one, otherwise it's 4-1 to Trump.
Yeah, it's just that one. That there. If I move that red away, it's that one.
Yeah, I mean, if he catches that thin enough, that shot looks almost on to me. But it's... You just can't afford to... You've got to hit it perfectly.
Yeah, Williams was just clarifying with the referee which ball he could see full, and has accepted the explanation. He's got to hit one, otherwise it's frame over. But of course, the way it's gone tonight, if he leaves any sort of chance for Trump, it's probably frame over anyway.
Yeah, I think he's looking at the shot that I pointed out, but as I say, you've got to catch this red absolutely perfectly. Slightly less than quarter ball.
Well, all these years, decades of experience, he's still not quite sure what to do.
You know, I'd have to give Mark the benefit of the doubt, the view he had. Obviously, he didn't feel that shot was on. So, kind of a desperate sort of lunge at the red he made in the end.
1.
Well, as the interval sort of interrupted Judd's rhythm, we'll see now, because this is the sort of chance pre-interval. You fancied him winning the frame from here. He just looks in devastating form when he gets in.
8. Nine.
Yeah, his game's been building, hasn't it, all season? It started pretty poorly and then got to a few finals, not least the UK Championship, and of course has now won the German Masters. So such a big 2 months with these Players Series events, a couple of other tournaments
60.
as well, but obviously the World Championship in April will be very much on his radar. Of course, the man
70.
who denied him last year is the man in the opposite chair tonight, Mark Williams, 17-14 in that semi-final. And of course the other two members of the class of 92, John Higgins and Ronnie O'Sullivan, have beaten Trump in world finals.
24. 25. 32. 33.
Fifth black coming up. Still in prime position. May play the two open reds, he may play the cue ball in between those two. I'm not sure if both of them go to left corner. He's just played to go past it, but that looks perfect.
40.
And I'll be surprised if he doesn't play for an angle on the black here to go into the reds. He's got one more loose red. Not sure if there's a plant below the pink to left corner. They won't be going
41.
into the pack from that angle. That's not a good shot.
$48. Judd Trump.
Yeah, just lost his
48.
cue ball, didn't he? But he's 56 in front, and look where the white's finished.
Foul and a miss. Judd Trump. 4. Foul and a miss. Judd Trump. 4.
A little bit surprised Judd's having it put back again. Suppose he feels if he gets any more penalty points, the lead will become too big for Mark to win the frame. But I think if Mark, I'd be surprised if Mark didn't hit it. Nice.
Foul.
He hit the line the very first attempt. I'm surprised he's not hit it since. Plenty reds, even though there's a 68-point lead for Judd Trump. There's still plenty reds on.
Yeah, he's given away 20 penalty points already in this frame. There's another 5.
A miss.
But
Judd
this
Trump.
time there's a red on.
5.
But he's having it put back.
Yeah, I guess Judd just thinks there's no point in taking anything that's not unmissable. As I say, the very first attempt, he had the perfect line.
Foul. Miss.
Ever since then,
Judd Trump
he's been nowhere
4.
near it.
Well, this should be a frame. He could be 80 behind, but still able to win the frame. There's so many reds still on. Oh no, it's the black.
Foul. Miss. Judd Trump 7. One.
Well, if my maths are correct, Mark Williams can still win this frame by 1 point, which is incredible.
Yeah, he actually
6.
he holds a record. Actually, he won the frame where the most points were scored against Ding at the UK Championship. Mark scored 101 and Ding 94.
Judd Trump 6.
So 195 points in the frame. Ding scored 94 and still lost it.
Yeah, it's an extraordinary frame to lose.
Well, I mean, all the reds are in open positions. If Williams were to get in, it would be quite extraordinary, but just about enough on.
Yeah, you wouldn't normally think you'd be under a little bit of pressure, be 90-0 in front up in a frame, but there's just a little tinge of pressure on Judd Trump to just put this frame to bed. This'll help, tying the black up completely. That's, I would imagine, sealed Mark Williams' fate now in this frame. Great shot.
Yeah, of course, 91 remaining, but that's with blacks, which is now, Stephen says, tied up. So snooker's required.
1.
And since Mark Williams made that terrific 1-4-1, the highest break of the tournament in the opening frame, in 4 frames he scored 8
Pink
points.
ball. Judd Trump, 1. Frame
Staying in his
conceded.
seat. Funny old frame.
Frame Judd
A lot
Trump.
of fouls given away.
Thank you.
Well, it is an opening. The black's gone safe, but pink and blue available.
1.
We know with Mark Williams' extraordinary temperament that he won't be down on himself. It's not like he's played badly, really. You know, Judd Trump has really, in every department, been strong. Williams still has pot success of 98%. It's not like he's been missing. He just hasn't been getting in. But he's in now.
Seven.
That's pretty helpful. Pink going on the black spot. You can forget about the black on that right cushion now.
Eight.
If he's gone into the bunch, he'll slightly favour the right-hand side of the top red as we look. He went the other side of it, and that was always going to be trouble. I think if he hits the other side of that red, he doesn't
30.
fail to be on one. And it's that cue ball to just come off that side cushion, which it has done. Not quite enough to make ball colour a good option to get on a red.
$90. $20.
Well, this is already an extraordinary break. It's only 20, but how he's kept it going.
$26.
And the pink has now gone back in its own spot, which just is not really a help. I think it goes certainly to right corner pocket.
$27. 33. $34.
That's a very poor shot. Looks too straight in the blue to come down towards the reds. Certainly looks like that, so he's going to have to play this red to right corner from distance, from near the left middle pocket.
$39. Mark Williams, 39.
He's interested in those two reds going towards the left corner pocket. There's a red you can see just to the right of the two that are plant. If that's right in between them, it may be stopping the plant. May have been the kind of risky shot that Judd would have taken on sort of 7-8 years ago, but not anymore. But he's not played a good safety shot at all.
No, major chance for Williams here. 39 in front already, hand on table.
One.
Just always had a great eye for a pot, hasn't he, Mark
6.
Williams?
$7.
And he's so capable as well. And we saw it against Trump in that World Championship semi-final of just suddenly raising his game. You know, he struggled a little bit early on, but gradually took control. And Trump didn't quite have the answers for it.
$12. $30. 18.
So just a couple more reds should kill the frame off.
19.
He's had to rely on a couple of Trump errors, including to set up this visit. But if Trump continues to make them, then this could turn around. We saw it when he played John Higgins in the Masters semi-final. He was 3-0 up, and John would admit he was really struggling. Should have been 4-0.
25.
Wasn't, and of course Higgins eventually won in the decider.
26. $32. 33. 39. 40. 46. 47. Cute. 53. Foul. Good front
Well, that's
four.
that then for this
Foul.
frame. Mark. He's dished out to him over the years.
No,
Yeah, Trump's had so many meetings with the class of '92. I think it's an interesting dynamic. I think he grew up idolising Ronnie. I think he's learnt probably the most from playing John Higgins, but maybe the most unpredictable of the three is Mark Williams, because he's such a shot maker, and you know you just can't get under his skin. You can beat him, yes, but you can't rattle him. And Williams is a big admirer of Trump. He said he puts him very highly on his all-time list. I remember very clearly interviewing Trump when he won this in 2020 during the Players' Championship along the way, asking him about the class of '92 and were they sort of on the way out, and he said he didn't think so. Well, boy, he was right about that. Now, it's a good safety being played here, isn't there?
Yeah, yeah. Foul. And a miss. Judd Trump, 4.
Yeah, slight adjustment made. Williams is certainly going to be at the Tour Championship because he's fourth on the 1-year list. But of course, if he could stay in the top 4, he would be seeded through to the quarterfinals. So he'd have to play one match less and be guaranteed more money. Well, you saw he jumped up immediately because he feared the red was going to be left.
One. Six. Seven.
Going to be screwing off the red directly above the black. No, he didn't play
Judd
it the
Trump,
way at all
7.
that I thought he was going to do, because you play the red and screw across to the right hand side, you're guaranteed a pot in a red to left corner, but completely took his eye off the pot, whatever he was doing. In the end, it was a very weak shot from Judd Trump.
1.
Yeah, first black off the spot he's missed in this entire Players' Championship.
Yeah, it's a part of his break bill in Judd that's changed. And you certainly can't criticise him because the amount of tournaments he's won, but he very rarely plays aggressive shots into the bunch now, unless he really has to.
9.
Interesting to see where the next red's coming from now for Mark Williams.
Twelve.
Well, he sort of had a look to see if there's a plant on here. And there was.
13.
Again, just great shot making.
18. $19.
Well, it's okay. You can still pot this brown. And slowly but surely the break coming together. You can get back around the black now.
23. $24. $31. $32. $39. $40.
Alan was talking at the interval about Mark being annoying to some players, and one thing it is, or would be annoying if I was sat in Judd Trump's chair, is the noise that his tip makes. It sounds like he's hitting the cue ball with a glass tip.
47.
The only player that uses a tip as hard as that.
$48.
I'm convinced he doesn't get the action on the cue ball that other players do, but he will argue as long as the day is long with you that it does, but I'm not convinced. It certainly works for him. And he's right back in this match.
Well, this has been a wonderful break.
54.
And one thing's for sure, if he knows the other players are annoyed listening to the sound of it, that'll please him a lot. He loves a wind-up. When he did that
55.
unconventional break, when he was rolling into the back of the reds, I think he did it genuinely at first because he didn't like leaving long reds on, but he also loved the fact it just caused chaos, and other players were doing it and didn't really know why. He was in his element, Mark Williams,
62.
with all that going on. And he will be here as well, because this red, and it's going to be 4-3. Terrific break.
63.
For years, Williams was known as a great single ball potter, but what he really is, he's just a great break builder.
Yeah, we've seen this afternoon John Higgins miles away from his best
70.
in the first half of the match, but like this man at the table, the fiercest of competitors.
71.
There's basically been no one like them in the game ever. To say he may come over as he
76.
just doesn't care, Mark Williams, but believe me, when he's out there on the match table, you have to scrape him off it to beat him.
77.
Well, he hasn't brought the red out, but it doesn't mean he won't be going in somewhere.
84.
and said single ball Potter.
Well, it won't be the highest break of the tournament. He's already made that in the first frame. But I think if he clears
91.
up here, it'll be the best we've seen.
$93. $96.
So he was in big trouble, 4-1 down. He'd only scored 8 points in 4 frames, but he's hit back and hit back strong. Second century of the night for Mark Williams. And this is a lot closer, as is the possibility of a semi-final
105.
between two 50-year-olds on Saturday. And a little change of hands. Bit of work needed on that, but
on the front.
So you might get a view from the ref cam here. As they're playing below middle of the cue ball, left hand side, which is run inside. Another excellent safety shot from Judd Trump. Appreciated by his opponent. And he showed there Judd Trump is dominating the safety. That's a wide margin, 30%. Suppose that's generated by that when he went 4-1 ahead, when he really dominated all aspects of the game. That's not his best one.
no, it's getting a bit sticky, isn't it? And it's worth saying, we're not there yet, of course, but if it goes to a decider, Judd Trump has not won a decider all season. He's played 7, lost 7. It's also worth saying, probably the most famous one he won was against Mark Williams to win that $500,000 in Saudi Arabia last season. The first prize, 10-9, with the clearance he made. Williams, though, keeping him at bay here. It's a bit like with Higgins this afternoon, although that was close. Of course, that was nip and tuck with Chris Wakelin. He improved, for sure, in the second half. He really upped his game towards the end. Mark Williams has done that last couple of frames.
Yeah, these longer matches and the best of 11 is quite a long session. Momentum can change to and fro between both players, and it's certainly with Mark Williams at the moment. 2 frames in a row. Well, he's left Judd this red, which is obviously very potable, but there's pressure on it because you can see the reds are all wide open. So it could be one of those situations where you played not a very good safety shot, but you get the opportunity from it, because Judd's forced into this. He's not happy about it because he's not downplaying it yet. The left of the two reds looks pretty straight. There is a little bit of angle there. The one to the right, I don't know whether they can avoid other reds in potting it, so this needs good cueing. Oh, and good cueing we've got. Okay, you could argue that he bailed out a little bit with the cue ball, taking it into the bulk area. But still a fabulous pot.
Five.
Just finished slightly awkward. Not sure if he can pot this red and stun across for the black.
Six.
Yeah, nicely played. And from that excellent long red, he's got a tremendous opportunity now to regain that two-frame advantage.
Yeah, and he's been put under it, but it's nothing he hasn't seen before. All the tournaments he's won, it hasn't all been at a canter by any means. And of course, we know in general he's feeling good again, having returned to the winner's circle in Berlin. Went out first round in Hong Kong, but of course that was just a few days later. You know, he had to fly over there and had no time at all really to get ready for that tournament.
$30.
Having to go up for the blue now, to the left middle.
$40.
In fact, he was able to play for pink. That certainly helps the situation, because in potting this, he's going to move the red away from the pink spot. Well, now this is a frame-winning opportunity.
20.
We've complimented Mark Williams'
21.
temperament, but Judd's temperament was world-class in potting that long red, because he'd seen his opponent dominate two frames in a row, get right back into this match, and there was pressure on it. If he didn't get it, he was letting Mark straight back in again. That has gone wrong.
28.
Yeah, thin clip required into the right corner. This is trickier than it should have been.
$29. 32. 33. 40. 41. 46. 47. 54. 55.
So, coming to the crunch. Black to lead by 62, another red and a black, or a red and a pink. And Mark Williams would need a snooker.
$62.
Yeah, the red to right corner. I think the best he could do is maybe play for the black to left middle. I'm not sure if he can get the cue ball out of there for something easier.
63.
It is the tricky black to left middle, but it's frame ball.
Yeah, and if he misses it, it might run safe, which of course is no good really to Williams. Didn't miss it though. Another great break. These two should play each other more because they're just capable of such amazing shots.
Yeah, that 70 break was bookended by two fabulous shots. The
Judd
opening
Trump,
long
70.
red and that black to middle. Great visit by Judd Trump to the table.
So at the moment, Williams needing one snooker to be able to mathematically win the frame with all reds and blacks.
1. Eight. Nine. Sixteen. $17.
Well, this is incredible just to keep himself in this frame. Judd Trump played a kind of innocuous looking shot, sending the red up to the bulk end. Was able to pot it, get position on the black, and
24.
some faint hopes alive in this frame.
$25.
Taking the pink, it's going to be one snooker to tie.
$32.
Well, that was another, just a
Williams,
fabulous
32.
visit to the table. Two unbelievable visits to the table in this frame by both players. Williams, with the way the reds were, looked dead and buried in this frame.
Yes, and there's nothing safe, is there, from Trump's perspective? So one snooker to tie, but you know the clearance would be on potentially.
May play the red off the jaws of the pocket, leave the cue ball there, send the red up the table. Brilliant. Doesn't want the red to bounce too much. He may have left it. It's a little bit unlucky.
Well, if there's a move to be made, then Mark Williams knows it. He learnt the old school game at a young age. He grew up in a club full of adults. So in South Wales, of course, absolutely steeped in snooker there. He learnt it really from when he started playing. And you can see the results here. Putting Trump through it.
Yeah, I've seen it from John this afternoon, that there's no lack of ring craft with these players.
Well, longest frame of the match, but it hasn't been long. That's ended up a snooker.
It's got to be slightly wary of the in-off here, playing cushion first. That's why he's aiming low on the cue ball. Try and stun it. Just avoided the in-off.
Well, you kind of think Trump will hit this, but what he's worried about is setting up the next snooker, which could be a nasty one.
One.
So he's going to take the black. It's still one snooker to tie on the colours.
Brilliant shot. To get the cue ball
8.
behind the yellow to make this snooker unmissable. Kind of get tight to that brown.
Mark Williams, 8.
He'd like to have had the cue ball touching just to take out the one cushion escape. Don't see Judd missing this. You've always got to be careful when the object ball's in the middle of the table, but it should be unmissable. Missed opportunity there for Mark Williams. Played a brilliant shot off the black.
Yeah, I mean, the tablecraft on show is quite something. Trump's got plenty himself, but he's been put through it a little bit here. Frame that, you know, he only made that really good 70 you thought was definitely his. How do you like that, Mark? He's in one himself.
2.
Another great pot in a match full of them. So, 2 snookers to tie, but if the green goes in, there's surely no way back in the frame for Mark Williams. It was a valiant effort from him.
5.
But if he's going to make progress now in this tournament, he'll have to win the last 3.
No.
OK, it was 14 months between Trump winning titles, but history tells us quite often when he wins one,
14.
suddenly he racks them up with great regularity. Not so long ago, a couple of seasons back, he won 3 in a row.
20.
Terrific. There's the pot success. Now, you would think 8 frames in, 97%, as Mark Williams is, he probably would have won by now, but in fact he's 5-3 down. So, as I say, it's not that he's been missing loads. He's only missed 3, actually. But it's about getting in and stopping Trump getting in, of course.
Both played at a great pace as well, both average shot times 21 seconds, which is getting on with it. And that's a testament to their cue ball control. Again, another world-class safety shot from Judd Trump. That's been a very, very strong part of his game tonight. He's found that ball cushion very regularly.
Touching ball.
We want to get the cue ball up sort of in the yellow area of bulk to block the, try and make it difficult for Mark Williams to return the cue ball back up the table. You can see the left side of the table, there's a lot of traffic there. Yeah, once again, beautiful touch. Deja vu.
Pop the red, but I'm not going.
Well, I'm sure Mark Williams said he can pot the red. The one closest to the left corner doesn't look like it from that view. He was just said to Judd, I can pot it, but I'm not going for it. That would be annoying if he did get down and go for it and pot it.
Yeah, another one for the reel for Alan McManus. He's at that stage, though, of course, against a world-class player where he knows one mistake and that could be it for him.
I think he's left the one to left corner when the black's available to the right corner pocket. Well, maybe not. If he can get to the right side of the cue ball. So if he is playing this shot, that's kind of where he's aiming down in the cue ball. Yeah, brilliant.
1.
Yeah, well, you said it, David. Mark Williams could have played his last shot now in this match.
8. Nine.
He's been pretty devastating in both his matches, Judd, when he's got in the business end of the table.
16.
Well, I went for 6-3 Trump in our prediction contest, and I've got nothing right all week, so it probably means something will go wrong here.
17.
Can't believe how seriously that's been taken, by the way, by you. I forgot I was in with a load of snooker players. So competitive.
Yeah, well, I went 6-1, and at 4-1 I thought it was looking quite good, but then my old mate got himself back into the match.
24.
Yeah, we get 1 point for a correct result and 3 for a correct score. You're looking good.
Yeah, I don't know how that scoring system was devised. Anyway, more importantly, Trump's still going.
25. $30. $31.
Well, that's covered the black, so that is not good from Trump's point of view.
$37. $38.
He won't be that concerned about the black being tied up. Be more than happy with playing around the pink. I would say when there's a pressure break to be made, the pink, you've got, well, a lot of the time you've got 4 pockets to play for. 2 middles, 2 corners.
44.
Lots of options.
$45. $50. 51. $56. $57.
This has been an excellent reply by Judd Trump. He lost 2 frames in a row from 4-1 to 4-3. Potted that excellent long red, and he's won the last 2 frames, or looks to be winning the last 2 frames in one visit. It's world #1 form, tournament winning form,
63.
you have to say. Definitely looks the man to beat this week. A lot of great players still in this
64.
though. The world champion still in, plays tomorrow against Sean Murphy, Mark Selby, Mark Allen. But this man at the table is going to take some beating.
Yeah, he kept the break going so well, didn't he? Because the black was
70.
covered quite early on. Mark Williams has missed 3 pots tonight, and he's been beaten.
71.
Started with that 1-4-1. He had another century in frame 7. He's played some magnificent snooker. But the man at the table, we know what a great player Judd Trump is, but of course his confidence has returned because he's
77.
returned to the winner's circle, winning the German Masters, and that makes him very, very dangerous.
78.
Yeah, I think the best thing about it, when he went 14 months without winning, he never moaned about it. He never seemed to be bothered. He never complained or was irritable. Certainly in public anyway.
85.
Probably was irritated in himself, but he always knew the win would come.
86.
Well, he's had 45 centuries this season, so
93.
he's not going to get to the 107 he made last season, but he'd love to make one here, just to end the night on a real high. John Higgins will be back with us in the
94.
commentary box tomorrow afternoon, and then on Saturday, so yet another meeting with the world #1. Who's finished in style. What a great break to win it.
101.
Mark Williams breathing down his neck all night. From 4-1 to 4-3, the pressure was on. Trump has responded
102.
superbly.
Five cushions here to get in the yellow. Well, he didn't go the way I thought he was going to go.
109.
As per usual, the game becomes very easy when you've won the match.
$114. $118.
Maybe we should get angles to demonstrate that after.
$123.
Suddenly it's an exhibition. All the tension has left him. He's just entertaining here. Mark Williams looks entertained. He's played well. His towel has come in. That's the end. He's still going to try and pop the pink. It's been a wonderful match.